we are on our way back from getting the Azure haul, and one part is not going to make it into long-term storage. Some orange juice. It is so hot right now. My gosh, but stay tuned to see what we got. Vegan prepper. Vegan prepper. Okay, here's everything unpacked and at home. So let's go ahead and start looking at what we grabbed this month and a little bit of why. Over here, starting with a gallon of apple cider vinegar. It is a forever food. I figure I will stock up on as much of it as I can fit reasonably in a certain spot on my shelf to have on hand for things like pickling, cleaning. I don't know. I don't need to give it a list. Y'all know apple cider vinegar is the best. It's a great thing to have on hand. Storing this is like storing 20 other things at the same time. So apple cider vinegar, fantastic. Also a couple of bottles of organic lime juice. And I guess we'll go ahead and segue really fast into the rest of the citrus juices. So we also have 6 bottles of organic lemon juice and 6 bottles of organic orange juice, which is actually 5 now because we did, as you saw in the little intro, we busted into that on the way home. It was just so hot. We were so sweaty. We did bring water, but it was like, I don't know, sometimes you get super hot, super sweaty, you need a little bit more than just water. So we did bust into that. But basically I have heard, and I'm not 100% sure that this is true, but it is possible that there may be a citrus shortage soon, specifically with orange juice, trouble with crops in Florida, something like that. So I decided to go ahead and get some bottles. We don't typically drink orange juice, except for today, but I get it. I'm more for like recipes or salad dressings and things like that, making a glaze or whatever. So I typically use it more for recipes. And so I'm going to start having just a little stash of orange juice on hand, just in case it gets to the point that we can't get it anymore. These are all shelf stable. And then also just with rising food costs, I have noticed, definitely for us, one of the main things I've noticed is with lemons and limes. Fresh lemons and limes have kind of drastically increased in price. Per lemon, per lime, it's kind of crazy. It's gone up over 30 cents per each for some of those things. So I'm just going to go ahead, even though I'm not going to be able to get the zest, I'm stocking up because even though these were not insanely cheap, I think it's about $4 or $5 per bottle, I could never get that much lemon juice out of the same price of organic lemons. Not anymore in my area. So I'm gonna start stocking up on shelf-stable bottles of the lemon and lime juice. The lime juice, I only got a couple because it is a lot more expensive than the others. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep stocking up a little bit at a time on that too. We don't use it quite as much as the lemon. But anyway, that's enough on the citrus juice. Just some thoughts there. You guys might consider stocking a little bit on some citrus juice, just in case. But also, like I said, because I kind of just did the math and I was like, wait a second, it's like way more juice than I can get out of the same amount of fresh lemons and limes. So anyway, that was that decision. Another 25-pound bag of popcorn. I'm making a working bucket of just popcorn. I can talk about that in just a second, the working bucket versus long-term storage buckets. Some almond meal, just a very small bag to give it a shot. I've been using this in a few recipes lately to give cakey texture, especially to things I've been making with chickpea flour. I have some great recipes that I'm hopefully going to be bringing to the channel very soon, including a chickpea flour breakfast bake that's very similar, that's not very similar, but it's essentially to replace like an egg bake for breakfast preps, like meal preps. And so it's fantastic and the recipe is pretty much there, but I do use almond flour in that recipe. So I'm gonna be bringing it out, but I haven't gotten it from Azure Standard yet, so I wanna make sure I like it before I buy more. So I bought a small container. A 5-pound bag of nutritional yeast, you know, because we're vegans. So we go through it, not super fast, but faster than buying just like 1 or 2 pounds here and there. We're going through it too fast, so I decided to go ahead and get ourselves a large bag this time to hopefully keep it around a little longer. This is one of those things that is not a very long-term storage food. It's like 1 or 2 years max, so you would need to keep buying it. So that's one of the reasons I don't really stock up a huge amount on this. I would if it would last longer, but it just doesn't, so I don't stock up as much on that as I wish I could. Yet more of these ramen. I feel like every single time I do an Azure haul, I got some more ramen over here, but man, these kids in this ramen, they love it. Mainly my daughter, this is like her favorite food on earth. And so, you know, I don't know, we add tofu and stuff to it to make it more nutritious, and she just really loves it. So I keep buying it. And also a couple of containers of coconut milk, 24 total of coconut milk. Organic. I hope this brand is good. I haven't tried it before. I just sort of decided to grab it. I actually really love stocking up on coconut milk too, because technically, canned goods never become dangerous as long as their seals are intact. So this is potentially a really long-term storage food. However, it's not necessarily going to taste very good for forever. So you do still kind of have to watch that. But even still, most canned goods have a 3 to 5 year shelf life. Coconut milk especially, if you think about it, there are so many calories in one can of coconut milk. It's like 1,000 something calories in just one can. And that's a very high calorie canned good. So that is something that I like to have on hand for kind of bringing up the number of calories without taking up too much more space. So coconut milk is a great way to do that. I think it's more shelf stable than oils, and then we don't use a lot of oils anyway, so this is one of the ways I like to do that. Back here, we've got 4 more of those gallon jars and the lids. So these are sold separately. Jars and lids are separate. It turns out to be about $20 for all together. So I just got 4 more of those. I have gotten 4 more in the past, and I love them so much. I want to like fill my entire shelf with these jars. I'm just going to do it a little at a time. And then we have another 25-pound bag of red lentils. I say another because it was relatively recent that I got one of these, but we ended up putting all of them into Mylar bags for long-term storage. So this one is going to go into a working bucket. Red lentils are a fantastic thing to have on hand. They're still really high in protein, but one of the main things about them that I think is really great, especially for something more like a survival stash, is they cook ridiculously fast. It's like 6 to 7 minutes, even not using an Instant Pot, just like on an open stove. So this is something that will take a lot less fuel to cook than a lot of beans. And it's just a great thing to have on hand. I like it because it thickens things very well. So there's things where you can look up online. People have questions. How do you cook red lentils without them going mushy? The answer is you don't. Red lentils go mushy. That's what they're for. So you just sort of understand like what they are when you get them. They can thicken stews and soups and just all kinds of stuff. And then you don't even really realize that you have beans in there. It's just this beautiful, thick, amazing thing. So we love red lentils, and yeah, those are going to go into a working bucket now. And then the final thing, so it's funny, like this haul doesn't look very big, but it is one of the pricier hauls that I've done in kind of maybe ever, because we got ourselves a 50-pound box of organic cashews. This is because the typical cashews we use, which are not organic, have been out. And I just feel like with everything the way it is, things the way they're going with food prices rising and shortages and all that, I will just not wait for my other ones to come back in stock, and I'll go ahead and spring for these organic ones. So these are organic cashews. I typically get conventional cashews just because of our budget, but this is again just to have it on hand because we really do go through quite a lot of cashews in our family, and I just want to make sure that we have a good amount stocked up for us, and we will go through that. So that's not for long-term storage. That's like hopefully going to be good for us for, you know, at least a few more months. And then if my regular ones come back in stock, I'll probably buy those too. So yeah, this is just to make sure that we are set kind of no matter what comes. And that is the haul and sort of my thoughts on it. But I know if you watch me, you're waiting for the giveaway. Basically this time, this haul was thrown together so last minute, I forgot to look and shop for giveaway stuff. However, that does not mean that I'm not doing a giveaway. It's just not an Azure Standard giveaway. Hopefully that's okay. So basically, anybody who comments down below and lets me know anything, I don't know if you learned something, anything, comment anything except for about the giveaway, right? The rule of the giveaway is we don't talk about the giveaway. I'll put my email in the description. If on Wednesday, August 11th, I respond to your comments. Like, I'm not going to respond to anyone's comments. But if on Wednesday, August 11th, I respond to your comment, go ahead and shoot me an email of your address and then also what you want. But I have to tell you, what are you asking for? So I also do have an Etsy shop, and I make these little, one of my best sellers is these little very dainty stamped rings. I'm going to give away 2 stamped rings to 2 people who win the giveaway. So it's a double giveaway again this month, like last month. So I'm going to give away to 2 people 2 custom stamped rings, and I will put the link also in the description for my shop for the listing that you can go to and read to get the details of what that entails. It's basically 15 characters per ring. They're going to be pure silver. The preppers out there will love that. 99.9% pure silver, 15 characters, including spaces, whatever you would like those 2 rings to say, I will make them for you and ship them to you. And that will be the giveaway this time. Hopefully it's not lame. That is not Azure. Like I said, I just kind of forgot. And so now you guys can get some custom rings instead. So hopefully that is great. But anyway, let me know. Just, yeah, anything. And then if I'm starting to respond to your comments after the 11th, the giveaway is over. That's not for the giveaway. But, you know, then I'll start talking to you guys. So if you do have questions, then please still ask me. And I will respond. Or you could comment like on another video and I'll respond to you over there. Like if you want a response right away. So anyway, I guess that's all. And hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye. Okay, sorry. I will say goodbye in just a second. I will, I swear. But I did promise to show you guys quickly my working bucket system. And so basically we do have a lot of stuff in long-term storage, which goes in Mylar bags, in some of these buckets, some of the totes, some of the other stuff that we have. This is still kind of brand new to us, and we're still figuring out how to arrange it and make it the way that we want it. But one thing we do know so far is this shelf now is the working bucket shelf. And basically what that means is these are all buckets that we intend to work through within a year or 2. It's constant rotating stock. So basically, I also, like in all of my long-term storage, I know how much food that I have for our family, but I'm not even counting what is in the working buckets. So we actually have quite a lot more, probably at least another month or so, if not more, in just the working buckets, as long as they're kind of full. So the idea is that, like for instance, the popcorn and the red lentils are going to go in 2 more buckets. And then I'm pretty sure there's only 1 more. And then that will fill, I'll have 12 total working buckets. And one day I will take you guys through what those are. But basically we'd go through those and then still keep stocking up on the beans and the rice and the other things. But every now and then, I guess once the bucket starts getting low, when I buy that thing will now go into the working bucket, and the long-term storage will stay long-term storage so that I'm not constantly opening and going through and wasting my Mylar bags. I'm also putting together some smaller buckets, variety buckets, and kind of quick, like 3-day, 72-hour kit type buckets with a bunch of this dehydrated food that I'm still going through and figuring out what I'm putting together for food there. And so I love the idea of a variety bucket. It's an idea that I got off of articles on the Azure Standard website. So I really want to mention now too that Azure Standard isn't just great for the food stuff itself. It's also absolutely fantastic as a resource for information and instructionals, like instructional videos on how to use the gamma lids and like install them and put them on and stuff like that, and how to use your Mylar bags and your oxygen absorbers, and then the concept itself of a variety bucket. And these are, you know, from people who have experience way back from Y2K disaster prepping. I don't know if any of you, if you guys remember Y2K. I remember Y2K. I was technically a kid then, but I still remember Y2K. Yeah, so anyway, I would highly recommend you check out Azure Standard also to read their amazing articles. And I'm going to link a few of my favorite articles so far in the description box below and let you guys just kind of go explore. So that's definitely, you know, that's free. Like you can get information for free. And I do really appreciate that they put that up there. So anyway, that's it for real now. It's a real goodbye now. So see you later.